Whew. So I just posted my video that I shared with you guys earlier about creating my new norm and day one again. And let me tell you, I swear, I feel like it took me forever to kind of edit and post that video. And I think, that definitely has been a deterrent for me with posting regularly, because I feel like it takes so much time because I haven't allowed myself just to be imperfect and ramble, because who wants to be watching somebody rambling? I mean, I sure as hell don't. So anyway, I got that posted. Have my laundry in the dryer. I gotta fold some laundry. The sheets, I did change the bed sheets on Monday. So go brand. Like, I can't remember if I shared that with you or with Facebook. Well, I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but I definitely shared it in a story on Facebook, because when Mr. started going back to work or went back to work and has to be there every day, I've taken over changing the bed sheets, which we do every Monday. So I did that, but guess what? I didn't pull them out the dryer. So I have to fold them. And I saw this recipe on Facebook for a Mississippi chicken, similar to a Mississippi. Ooh, I'm about to kill myself with the knife. Don't touch the knife. Anyway, so I saw this recipe for, I didn't realize it at the time, but it's Mississippi chicken. It's like a roast that I've made, and that roast is delicious. It's seasoned with like dill, and you use the pepperoncini peppers, and it's some tasty goodness. So when I saw this video for the chicken, I didn't read the title to see that it was a Mississippi chicken, but yesterday I was in the store buying some of the ingredients needed. Like, they make it with an au jus, and then there's also ranch seasoning. And this might be the the cheat code for the roast, because depending on how it tastes, it might be a whole lot easier. And I got my pan, so I'm gonna put it in the oven. But gosh, I should say it felt like a whole lot just getting to this point. And I think it felt like a lot because I just made myself sit down and do it and not squirrel and kind of get into something else. So I completed the video, and while it was uploading, I ran upstairs, took my laundry out of the washer, put it in the dryer, all that, and then here I am. So progress, trying to focus on one thing at a time, because I am definitely neurospicy and will squirrel in a minute. So here I am making this chicken. I get these chicken breasts from BJ's, the wholesale store, and they're similar to Sam's and probably Costco, where they are just ridiculously fat. And so I slice them in half so that I can, I just stretch it, I think that's just an enormous amount of chicken for one person. So yeah, I slice them, I trim them too. I don't like a whole lot of fat. But yeah, so I do that, and after I get this in the oven, then my next item is to figure out how to put this pricing out there so people can start booking. I want people to sell that, or to SAIL, as in on this cruise with me, because that's what I'm doing. I'm a travel advisor, I guess a life coach maybe. We're really working on that. But yeah, I'm just trying, you know, I'm transforming my life. It's been a process, it's been a journey, and, you know, have become more consistent with sharing it. But yeah, that's my next hurdle, is trying to get the sailing, you know, make it so that people, it's easy, so that people, if they want to book, can just reach out to me and we can get this going. And so I guess in a sense, you know, I got to be up in their faces, and I'm figuring that part out, because I hate when people are like salesy and solicit. So I'm trying to balance that and figure out how to do it in a way that is not intrusive and annoying, but more inviting. And I mean, I guess I'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm glad that it's just me and the dogs today. We don't have anything new you know, in the mix, like no other dogs. I don't have any appointments today. That's the other thing that I really don't like, is when I have to like break up my day. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I have also learned that in addition to this consistency that I crave and adventure, I also, while and maybe it's because I have ADHD, but I really need to focus on one thing at a time. So if I have to get up, get dressed, and leave the house, I feel like it's just interrupting, and it takes away from, say, my maybe administrative household activities. That's why I've been saying that I feel like the job was just getting in the way, because I'm still, you know, in the season of change and trying to create my new normal, and also working at a place that you don't like, that isn't pouring into you, it's depleting you. And as a creative, I would have to come home and decompress, get my mind right, to try and get the creative juices going. And so, yeah, it was just kind of robbing me. And that's why this month, when I realized I didn't have any shifts picked up, I said, I'm going to leave it like that, because I really do truly believe that my issue has just been lack of focus and allowing a lot of other things to distract me. And I don't want to be like that, because I don't want to stay in this. Like, I want to be able to move away, at least for the winter. I don't want to be here. It's gotten too much. And I was talking to my therapist about that yesterday. So, you know, it's the process, and that's what I'm working on. Not to mention the world, the US in particular, because that's where I live, is so effing heavy right now. And I swear, right now I am in a season of conflict. It's change and it's conflict. It's learning how to hold two things at once and manage them simultaneously. I told you before that it was gratitude and guilt. You know, gratitude that I have a wonderful husband and I have this wonderful home, but then guilt because I want my own space. With regard to the state of the US, the conflict is I want to get the fuck up out of here. But then feeling like, ooh, people need my help. And I guess that's similar to being the wife and the mother, but wanting to prioritize yourself. And so it's just this, it's just very interesting. And I'm working to reconcile it. And well, acknowledge it, reconcile it, and, move through it. Because I was talking to my therapist yesterday, she asked, was I excited to see my husband when I got home? And I was like, not really. And I said, what it is I don't want to come back here. I don't want to come back to Indiana. It was so much snow. It's cold. They don't manage the snow properly. Like, they don't plow it and do a good job. So it's already nasty, but then you're in this place where it just becomes, so inconvenient. And I'm just tired of it. I don't want to be here. I want warmth and sunshine. I feel like it does a lot for my mood and my energy. So I have that I'm trying to deal with and reconcile. And then there's the, starting the business, the self-doubt, the confidence, the not trying to be, an annoying or pushy salesperson, but trying to show up so that I can begin selling, SELLING. And I want people to SAIL. So it's just like, there is a lot going on with me. But the cool thing is that I am recognizing it and acknowledging it so that I can try to do something about it. And that's the biggest takeaway is, just acknowledging it and allowing yourself the time and space to process what you've acknowledged and then learning how to move through it. Understanding that, yes, this might be the case, but in the current situation, but you are able to have some part in the change that you want to see. I mean, we can complain all day, every day about just what we feel like is owed to us, but everybody is fighting something. Everybody is battling something. And at the end of the day, self-preservation is the key. So you have to do what is going to make the most sense, what's going to make you okay within yourself. Because I heard something a while ago is that you can choose to disappoint yourself or you can disappoint others, but you only live with yourself. You have to live with yourself. You can disappoint others, but they're going to go on about their business. They're going to keep it moving and that's it. But you disappoint yourself, can you live with yourself? Are you going to be, filled with the regrets and I shoulda, or can you try to live your life to the fullest? And can you make decisions that are going to make you happy? That's the journey that I've been on. And it's been a difficult one because you train yourself. You have these beliefs that have been with you for a half of a century. For as long as you can remember, you've had certain beliefs. You've also been told, okay, you should feel like this, or you can't leave your family, or you can't do this, or you've had limiting beliefs put upon you, and you've had your own self-inflicted limiting beliefs. And so it's hard to change that. It's hard to change that mindset and retrain yourself to not think about those things. I was having a conversation with some coworkers because I was trying to sell them on this celebration at sea. And they were like, yeah, you're a good salesperson, but no, like I'm anxious about a trip that hasn't occurred, like that is in a few months. And I was like, I get that. You know, I get that because when I was in Thailand, the FAA had the directive mandating that airlines decrease like 10% of their flights. And so I was starting to spiral because I felt like, is my flight going to be canceled? And I still had a whole like day and a half left in Bangkok. And I had to tell myself, stop, because you are smart, you are resourceful, you can manage an issue if it should arise. And that tomorrow has its own problems. The next, maybe later on in the day, forget tomorrow, later on in the day has its own problems. And so you have to leave room for that. Why start borrowing from future issues? And so I was like, way to go, Brand, way to go. Like, I stopped myself from spiraling because there was nothing that I could do about it. And so that's what I have to just keep reminding myself right now when I feel overwhelmed, and I want to remind you to just stop. Take some breaths, take a step back, realize what you can control. Sometimes before you even get to that point, I've said it before, and I have definitely said it on YouTube, I know that for sure, is that allow yourself that time. We're always like, oh, keep your chin up, keep going and want to be like, yeah, I have so much to be grateful for. And I don't want to say it in that tone, but we do, especially Black women, like Black people. Okay, people of color, we gotta keep going. We can't stop. We have to be resilient. We have to have this fortitude, and we can overcome anything. All very, very true. But you know what? We're human, and we have to allow ourselves to feel it. We have to give ourselves that permission to be in our feelings. It is okay to be in your feelings. Now, it's not okay to live there. It's not okay to just park there and stay there. Who are you doing any good with staying in your feelings? Definitely not the person or situation that caused you to get there. They don't care. They're on to the next. But you're doing yourself a disservice. So no, it's not okay to live. It's not okay to just stay there. But it is okay to be there momentarily because you're human, because you don't have to be strong and resilient every effing day. No, you don't. So I will say that. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now, and probably not a good idea that I'm shooting this video, because one thing that I feel like I am learning is I have to complete a task, and I end up creating this content or starting something and then getting pulled in another direction. So I have to change that mindset as well. And that's why when I started to shoot the video earlier that I just posted, my most recent one prior to this, and see, I say that, is this gonna be this, or am I gonna squirrel and think about something else and be like, yeah, I'm posting that? I don't know. But for now, I'm getting this chicken battered so that I can try to sear it and then get all those juices going. So I'll holler. But okay, and I can't say I'll holler because what I want to tell you is that just remember, it's all right to allow yourself permission to be in your feelings. You just can't take up residency there. Okay? Remember that. And try to see what, as when you're in despair and just going through something, it can be very difficult to see the blessings and to be grateful in that moment. But there is a lesson, there is something that is preparing you and is shaping you for the future. So I want you to remember that. I want you to give yourself grace, and I want you to have a good day. And if you're unable to do that today, it's all right, because tomorrow is a new day. I'll talk to you later.